Hello, my name is Carrie Collins, and this is my illustration analysis presentation. The storytelling of color. Through its ability to create mood reactions or apply culturally symbolic meaning to texts, color can enhance storytelling. There are 4 theoretical concepts that we're going to look at in this presentation, and we're going to use these concepts as a lens to view how color is an essential element in telling stories of children's literature. These 4 concepts are Barthes's metaphor of relaying, Schwartz's congruency and alternate process, and Anaysis' concept of gap filling. If we were to take a book, such as Fox and Socks, we might easily imagine a red Mr. Fox. But how many of us could imagine Mr. Knox as having yellow fur? Red and yellow are the contrasting colors to our 2 main characters. First, we have our sly red fox, who is a master at tongue twisters. And then we have our well-mannered and polite Mr. Knox with yellow fur, which is symbolic for warmth. Red and yellow relay the contrasting personalities of these 2 main characters without the verbal text explicitly describing them. Moody blue is the contrasting primary color, and it is used throughout the illustration on many items that cause Mr. Knox's agitation, such as the fox in blue socks. The black scribbly outlines of characters, objects, and settings zigzag in chaotic movement, and this use of color helps to relay a world that is suitable for such zany, tongue-twisting games. Dr. Seuss's use of bright red, orange, warm yellow, and moody blue help to add meaning and definition to such nonsensical characters and spaces. And that is an example of Barthes's relaying. The concept of congruency is where word-text relationships work in harmony with one another to tell the story. This is a theoretical concept termed by J. Schwartz. Using this lens, we can look at P.C. Stead's A Sick Day for Amos. Here we see fine, delicate, and softly colored lines symbolize the gentleness of Amos and the animal friends he cares for at the zoo. There are many soft, muted tones which create a sense of calmness in the reader. Contrasting these soft, muted tones are bright splashes of red used on items that are associated with bringing comfort or happiness. For example, we see a red balloon or a red scarf or a red book or red socks. Here we see the color as an essential piece in harmoniously working together alongside of the verbal text. The theorist Schwartz also came up with a second concept called alternate process. An alternate process is where the verbal text and the visual text take turns in telling the story. In the book called They All Saw a Cat by B. Wenzel, we see that the verbal text on each page is really quite simple. It will tell which character saw the cat, but the picture tells the rest of the story. As readers thumb through each page, they read the text and then they take in the visual text. Brendan Wenzel's use of color is important in this book because the color is used to help enhance or exaggerate the cat's features that are most either scary or lovable to the cat's onlookers. We see big yellow eyes, or we see white teeth, or we see black stripes that indicate that the cat is a vicious hunter or predator, or we see soft striped fur, lovely to pet. Our final theory that we're going to look at is brought to us by Wolfgang Iser, and he calls the reader-text relationship a concept of gap filling, where readers actually co-create a work by visually supplying portions that are not written but only implied. The use of color in the visual text helps children to gap fill the impact of racial oppression Cassie and her family face. This oppression is only briefly mentioned one time in the verbal text. Color can help communicate the oppression that Cassie and her family endure. For example, the Union Building, where her father seems to be unable to obtain employment, is a large white building, which in some pages is seen towering over the other buildings. This use of color can symbolize white privilege, which is not explained in the verbal text. The illustrated muted blue sky of day indicates Cassie's real life. This muted blue seems hindered from becoming the deep, rich, blue night sky that umbrellas the backdrop of her dreams. As you can see, color is a useful tool for gap filling. This presentation has utilized 4 theories to help us understand the impact color makes in storytelling. Whatever the theoretical lens we use to analyze the use of color, one thing remains true is that color informs and plays an essential role in the storytelling of children's literature.